Hey everybody, I'm at the lab at EG4 Electronics in R&D with the 6000 XPs loaded up with our brand new firmware. And I'm going to demonstrate for you a couple of the new features that come with said firmware. The first one we have set up here is our three-phase setup. So we have three 6000 XPs and I have a multimeter here. Just double check, make sure that is on AC voltage. And now I'm going to go line 1 and line 2. We have 208 here on our multimeter. And then from line 1 to neutral, let's see here. Make sure I'm on that bus. Yep, we have a 120 volt from line 1 to neutral. Now the wiring for this will be in the manual. If you need to do three-phase, make sure you have your research when setting this up. But the 6000 XP now supports three-phase with the firmware. We are moving on to the AC coupling. So here on our AC coupled 6000 XP, we have quite a few kilowatts of solar panels on microinverters. Now this is ramping up and down a little variably because we have a bit of an overcast day, but you'll see here that it says we have grid coming in, but if you look, we also have 0 volts on grid line 1 and 2. We actually have it wired up to the gen port. So you'll see gen is 120 volt on each of the lines, 60 hertz, of course. And an important precaution to take with AC coupling is that you only have your AC coupled PV on the generator port of the 6000 XP. If you have a generator on while you turn on the AC coupling setting, it can backfeed your generator, and that's not good. So you want to make sure that everything's wired properly when you set AC coupling. But as you can see here, we have that ramping up and down, charging our batteries from our AC coupled PV. Now we're going to move on to our 120 volt grid and generator import. So here on our 120 volt input 6000 XP, we have our line 2 from grid and load taken out, and we only have line 1 ran, currently powering a heater. As you can see here, we have 1.4 kilowatts of battery, and on our line 1, we have 45% draw. And as we turn on the grid here, you'll see we have only one leg of the grid inputting. It should switch over the load to being powered by the grid, as well as charging the batteries. So here we have grid, go up. We have about 4 kilowatts coming from the grid right now. Let's see. On our line 1, we have, of course, 120 volts. And on line 2, we don't have anything. So we have a 120 volt load solely being powered by the grid as well as charging batteries. Now, when you're in this configuration, you cannot run 240 volt loads off of your grid power. Of course, you're only running one line, so that is a consideration to make, but you are now able to power loads with only a single leg of grid or generator power. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out the firmware changelog and download the firmware on the EG4 Monitor site, and we'll see you in the next one.